Introducing the all-new BYD Sea Lion 7, the luxury electric SUV that's changing the game. Book your free test drive today at the BYD showroom in Sheffield.
Dr. Steelhammer, Vladimir Klitschko, and Dr. Iron Fist, Vitaly Klitschko, Shannon the Cannon Brigg, and Butterbean, Cruiserweight King Jai Opetaia.
Boxing King Media powered by BYD. Shane Mcguigan. Shane, are you doing big fight for Chris Smith against somebody that's probably unknown to the British public, but a serious fighter?
Yeah, this guy's only had 2 losses. They've both been on points. He's always given a good account of himself. He lost to David Light. He was coming on strong in the fight. Good fight against Egorov in the last one, but he's highly ranked, so it's a relevant fight for Chris Smith. You know, he's coming off a loss, and he needs to get himself back in the mix. And this is a good, as you said, it's maybe not the biggest of names, but it's a good fight, and he's well ranked. And it's someone that's going to come to have a go. And I think that's stylistically, it's going to be an exciting fight.
A lot of people are talking about Chris being in too many wars. Can we expect another war?
Well, there's been in wars and coming out beat up. You know, he wasn't that beat up against Lawrence. Definitely wasn't beat up against Reactor. He didn't take. He got hit a little bit too much against Masterneck. He didn't take too much stick. We'll see.
Just a couple of quick other questions. You were thrown at the weekend. I finally managed to get Adam, Azim and Dalton Smith together. What did you make of that coming together? And a lot of people are talking about the size difference.
I didn't watch it. I'm really sorry. I heard because Adam told me and showed me a picture, but that was about as far as I got.
It was quite friendly, to be fair, very respectful.
Listen, Dalton's, we like Dalton. We don't mind him. It's just that's just a fight that's always going to be there. Well, maybe not always going to be there, but it's going to be always talked about, I should say. And I think after Zapita or Adam Azim's going to get knocked out after this guy when Dalton Smith's going to get knocked out. It is just the way it is. Hopefully they can win a world title and box each other and make a lot of money.
Is it Steve Claggett next?
It's a fight that we would like, or Regis Prograis, another fight that we would like, but we'll see. You know, we've got to let our promoter do the job, and there's other names as well out there, but they would be quite nice.
There's some changes in your gym. I know Craig's gone back to Tony Sims, and you've had Willy Hutchinson join up. Just a quick word on Willy and how that came about, and what's the plans with Willy going forward?
He's a very talented lad, only 26 years of age, bundles of talent, lacks discipline and commitment over the years, and he's had a lot of. He's had a roller coaster of a life, as it were, outside of boxing since he turned professional. So it's a. If I can get Willy Hutchinson correct and firing on all cylinders, I believe he can be one of the best light heavyweights, if not the best light heavyweight in the world. He's a phenomenal talent.
Just curious, on a personal level, any awkwardness when you first met him? Because obviously, literally 2 fights ago, you was plotting a game plan to get beaten, basically.
This is boxing. I don't. It's like the personal vendettas are not for me. You know what I mean? I'm doing my job. I've got a lot of time for the fighters that I work with. Of course, but I've known Willy Hutchinson since he was like 18 years of age, 17, 18 years of age. So, I knew how good he was. That's why I didn't necessarily like that fight for Craig Richards, but it was sprung on Craig, and I just think stylistically it wasn't an ideal fight for Craig. Willy, whatever went on, it's all squashed.
Stuff. And finally, a lot of people are holding back on the prediction for the main event on Saturday because they want to see how Chris looks at the weigh-in. But forget that, putting that aside, what does Shane Mcguigan think is going to be the outcome?
2 guys fighting for undisputed, if not more money than undisputed, title fight money, and that aren't at world level. So they've won, and hopefully it's a good fight for the fans.
Not going to pick a winner?
I mean, I am actually generally sitting on the fence. I think, the inactivity doesn't play in Conor's favour. The weight plays in Conor's favour. The age plays in Conor's favour. I think naturally Conor's probably up to 154 now. Don't think he could really do 147. So now he's eating and fueling his performance. He looks in great shape. Eubank's 35. His last few fights, he's looked lackluster. So yeah, I don't know. It's just we're going to find out. I think it will be quite easy to. The thing is, when you're at top level boxing, Beterbiev, Bivol, Usyk, they don't have off performances, right? Because they're world level. And yeah, some world champions can have off performances, but it's marginal. When they're at the lower level, there's these big swings up and down. People can have great wins and then they can have terrible losses. And they're both not at that level yet, or whether they'll ever be at that. So one of them could easily have a bad performance. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you a fact. I don't know if I was doing some research. Conor's fought 3 times above 147, 148, and a couple of times around 150. All 3 fights have gone to points against obviously guys that you'd probably class lesser opposition than Eubank. I said this to Eddie earlier, but Eddie believes Conor punches harder than Liam Smith as well. So putting that into context.
Yeah, but he's not as accurate, and he's not as he rolls. Like Liam catches a lot more, so he catches, so he'll entice people to fire with him, and then he'll punch with you a lot. Liam Smith does. Conor rolls and he lets you have your work, and then he comes out of the rolls with his combinations. And someone like Eubank's got a reasonably good step back. He might be able to negate that. I think late on in the fight, his age is going to be a big factor. I think Conor's intensity will be a factor late on in the fight because he's a very fit lad. And I think both of them have the power to stun each other. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think they're both dislike each other, and I think they'll put on a decent fight for the fans. So, you know, even though it's not at the top level, the hype and all of this stuff around it is good.
Good stuff. And last thing, how's life being a dad with 2 young kids and training so many good fighters? It must be chaos because they're right similar sort of age.
Chaos with the kids, yeah, it's chaos, mate. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I'd have 15 children if I could, but yeah, no, the two little lads are great. And as you said, I've got 6 other kids in the gym. They're just not biologically mine because it's time consuming as your own children.
Oh, good question. Who's the hardest kid to look after, including the kids in the gym as well?
Ellie Scotney and Willy Hutchinson are up there, that's for sure.
I thought you were going to say Willy, but Shane, thank you. Take care, man.